and we wanted to have diversity of the type. We wanted to have the US angle, this Intel, which is very interesting. We wanted to have a boring German company which has an exciting VC arm, innogy, traditionally. And innogy is a firm which presented in Berlin many times, and we know them very well. And then, of course, Stéphanie, and you came to, I think, the first or second NOAH, and I know you for 10 years. Yeah, you have your startup investment fund and did your own thing. So it's, I guess, a very good representation. Now, Karen, you recently moved to Europe.
I did.
And you have a very significant, sizable portfolio, I think, of many, many companies. So my first question would be, how was the move to Europe? Was it a culture shock? How different is it to Silicon Valley? Are the industries working differently here?
It doesn't work any differently. I've been warmly welcomed. I moved husband and cat over in March, and so it's been 7 months of rock and roll. So it's been really good. The hunting here is fabulous.
And you're based in?
Berlin.
In Berlin.
Yeah.
Where we met at the,
yes.
At the conference in NOAH.
But like everybody else, I live out of a suitcase.
You live out of a suitcase?
Yeah.
And Stéphanie, you work out of Paris, and you are investing across Europe. And
yeah, I mean, exactly. We're investing across Europe, but I have to say that at the moment, I mean, the ecosystem in Paris is fantastic. So we tend to invest early stage in international companies. I mean, most of our investments so far are based out of Paris, but working outside the US, or also some new ones in Japan and Asia. So we have a very, very nice set and entrepreneurial spirit now in Europe, and France maybe is becoming a real scale-up nation. And
you were before doing this, I think, at Orange for...
Yeah, I mean, I'm an intrapreneur turned entrepreneur, as I used to invest when I was at Orange as an operational person. And then I decided to become entrepreneurs and to launch my own fund, trying also to disrupt the venture industry, because the way we do it, we're building a tech platform, and we are trying to put as much emphasis in the tech and the digital experience for our investors, as well as the data we use to source the portfolio company, but also the support we give to our startups, thanks to the extensive network we have with our investors.
And the tech platform is a proprietary platform? You built it yourself? Is it for the relationships, or what is it solving?
Well, we try to ease the investment for the investors, so we digitalize all the investment process in one hand. And in the other hand, as we do invest early stage, we try also to solve the access to data on startups, and trying to have some weak signal for our investment decision, but also the way we are going to support our portfolio companies with our knowledge, with our access to corporate, etc., etc. So the tech platform is really one of our activity. So we have the same number of people in the team developing the platform, with tech developers, data catalysts, data engineers, as well as business people.
And ticket size up to $1 million, when you say early stage, or?
We love to be the first institutional investors, so we tend to put from 1 million to 2 million, and we hope that we will be able to put more and more. I mean, scaling our size of investment with our portfolio. And some of our very first investments are already very much successful, and raise some very nice follow-on.
Okay. Karen, I forgot to ask, Intel is actively investing right now also?
We are actively
investing. What type
of
deals are you looking for?
A through C, folks, we have rebalanced to where we're trying to do more strategic but financially relevant deals for Intel, a fewer number of deals, larger ticket sizes, so 4 to 20, and minority stakes.
But there needs to be a context in the Intel
It has to be
world.
a context. We have some prime investing areas, and so I invite anybody to come talk to me afterwards. Yeah.
And what type of, coming in Series A or earlier even?
A to C.
A to C, okay.
Yeah. And we're looking for what many other people are looking for, anything that drives a lot of data, huge amounts of data, greater than 1 terabyte.
So now I guess the time is coming with all the AI and all the big data company. It's like perfect. Annemie, let's talk quickly about innogy. for the ones who don't know innogy, maybe a few words on innogy and on what investment focus you have.
Yeah, and so we're the Energy Innovation Hub, which is a part of Innogy SE, which is a leading German energy business. And we are indeed not boring.
Sorry?
We are indeed not boring. I just had to point that out. Because over the last 4 years, we've invested in and/or started 80 companies.
80?
80, created 150 million in portfolio value. And we have a presence in London, Silicon Valley, Tel Aviv, and Berlin. And we mainly focus on the machine economy, cyber ventures, smart and connected as it relates to prop tech, and disruptive digital as it relates to the energy industry.
Okay, now let's play a game. I'm an entrepreneur, and you want to convince me to take your capital. What is the pitch, Stephanie? Okay, you talk about the platform, but what is like your kind of key selling point?
Well, the good thing with us is that we are very hands-on people, because on top of the team, you have our fantastic network of investors and I would say wise godfather, which are helping us on day-to-day with the portfolio company. I mean, people who have built a very big company or CEO of large corporations. So this is what we bring is the money and real experience and capability to scale and bring you contracts.
Because experience is, for me, the #1 underestimated asset for entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
They usually think about the technology, they think about their team and competence, but there are problems which other people had before, and to get like somebody who gives them an answer on how it happened before is extremely helpful. Karen, the Intel angle must be also very strong.
Yeah.
Is it US maybe?
No, actually, we are worldwide. Honestly, you can get money anywhere. It's the extra value that we bring. Intel has over 100,000 of the biggest brains in the world. So if you need tech development help, likely we have 2 to 5 experts. We have over 300 portfolio companies that may have some synergies and alignment there. We have thousands of suppliers, thousands of customers. You can see how it grows exponentially of the value that we bring, besides our very strong portfolio services team. So,
Annemie, what are you promising?
Yeah, so what we promise is people innovation. So not only business innovation or product innovation. And I think today we launched, and we're in the process of launching an amazing growth accelerator in the UK that, in addition to everything that you guys are saying, actually takes a cohort of our startups from Tel Aviv, Berlin, and Hungary, as well as the UK, and help them grow and scale internationally. And we work with governments that we partner with and other accelerators to do that. So definitely everything that you guys say, and then in addition to that, we innovate around how we can help our companies grow.
Interesting. This morning, Klaus Hommels of Lakestar gave a presentation around what's happening, especially his favorite topic is that we in Europe, and it's not his favorite topic, it's a sad topic, and I think we're all aware of it, we feel like that Europe is losing to the US. 10 years ago, when NOAH started, and I look at the valuations of the big platforms, the Googles, the Facebooks, the Amazons, I mean, I don't know any sector or any company which had that massive growth. Even in the relative terms, it's incredible growth. Is Europe, as part of your investment activity, you said you're investing global, is it tougher to get a European deal through the committee, considering that America is just growing so much on the VCs?
No, I mean, there's great value here. And so we go to places that we haven't traditionally hunted before. Lithuania, Romania, etc. So there's good tech here.
There's great tech talent and creativity, yeah?
Yeah, and I think you forgot to mention out of Europe came Skype and TransferWise. So we might have had those great things come from Silicon Valley, but there have been some amazing companies out of Europe.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for Europe, right? NOAH's objective is to support the European digital ecosystem, but it's always nice and important to hear it also from the people who are actually funding these stories. So you don't see Europe really weakening. And you just said earlier, France is seeing a huge growth in startup environment.
Well, the entrepreneurial spirit is changing all over the place in Europe, and France maybe is one of the great examples, together with a country like Spain, Germany. I mean, if we look at the scale-up, I mean, Spain has done a lot of very nice success also. So we have innovation everywhere, we have talent. What we need to have much more is large corporation buying or European tech startups, because at the end of the day, I mean, we need to have the exit also, and we need to have the large corporation playing the role of the Intel, and I mean, some of them are there, I mean, Orange, I mean, Dassault, and but we need much more because we will be strong as a European
They need it
tech.
too, by the way. The corporates need it too. That's why we do NOAH
Yeah.
Berlin. If they don't start
Yeah.
buying the talent or buying the growth of tomorrow, they're going to be unfortunately disrupted. No?
And taking into account also as that whole the fund and are funded by organizations such as the European Investment Fund or the BPI. So we need to have also the return for the local on top of the employment, but for the large corporate, the large European corporate to be startup acquire, startup partners.
So funding levels are okay in Europe, but the exit scenarios to European companies are a bit of a challenge. I agree with
No,
you.
we had iZettle.
Yeah, iZettle.
That went well.
And iZettle was sold to
PayPal for 2.2
an
billion.
American company, not a
Yes.
European company.
Yes.
And it's interesting, no, that the European larger companies are hesitant to acquire large digital businesses in Europe.
I think it's changing. I mean, because they see that it's super efficient to acquire a company in Europe. When you look at the size of the funding, I mean, today it's much more efficient to create a startup, a scale-up out of Europe because you have the economy in scale, because it's you have a super good talent force, you have a super condition to operate. So I would rather look at Europe as a place to invest today and to acquire a company than San Francisco, even if you still think that innovation is there, but we have much more to come in Europe. It will be the...
Because IT resources are scarce there and more expensive. And it's
Clearly, I mean, look at the price of engineers, I mean, in San Francisco
It's an
compared to the
interesting
price in Europe, and the quality, because, I mean, price is important, but talent is really the... what we have in Europe. We have a lot of data talent, mathematician, designer, creativity, and now a new generation and a generation of entrepreneurs who wants to make big things and scale.
So Annemie, what did you guys do in Israel, in Tel Aviv? What type of companies did you invest in?
Yeah, so mainly cyber, so no surprises there. And to build a little bit on what you were saying, Stephanie, is the young talent that we see, the resilience that we see, the mindset and entrepreneurial spirit. We're seeing it in Tel Aviv, but increasingly we're seeing it in other cities in Europe. So I really have a lot of hope that great things are definitely happening.
Yeah, we're doing the NOAH Tel Aviv to show people like the entrepreneurial spirit there.
Yeah.
In valuation levels, maybe that's a question for Karen, because you really have a good view on the... Is it still like that the American companies are valued at a premium to the European, or is it really companies? It is like that.
They really are. Yeah, which is great news for me because you know my dollar goes further. So perfect. Yeah.
Excellent.
And again, what I say to entrepreneurs, valuation is important. What matters is the price of your exit or IPO. So if you value too much and if you consume too much cash, I mean, you may have some troubles, I mean, at the end. So as for us, we tend to invest very early stage and to make sure that our entrepreneurs scale with the support and the resources and the experience that we can bring them. And on top of that, being myself an entrepreneur, now I know perfectly on top of the corporate journey what it is to be an entrepreneur.
Have you invested in crypto and blockchain companies?
Yeah.
So,
Yes. Blockchain, yes. Crypto, no.
We've just done an investment in a blockchain company in France, a company developing a middleware to help you to develop blockchain services. So very nice company named Woolit.
what
And we're even putting a toe in the water with an ICO. So
are you investing into ICOs also?
doing our own one. So
Are you doing your own
yeah,
ICOs?
so I won't say more about that, but we're quite keen on embracing the whole machine economy concept, which embraces blockchain, etc. Out of Berlin,
Interesting.
mainly.
One of the themes I thought of this day today, what we learned is that Europe has to change a lot of regulatory frameworks in order to help these companies to bring the products to the consumers. The consumers want, right? There's additional barriers. Do you see there's a problem in Europe on the regulatory side? And
I think in the UK there are, I think it depends by geography, but in the UK specifically, which is where we are today, I think the government are taking a lot of steps to ease and open procurement approaches, some regulation, etc. But I think it is still more complex in other geographies, definitely.
My view is that the regulation can really work well at the European level, like for the financial passport, for financial services. We tend to have a very protective regulation, especially on the data, which can be an issue when we want to do more company in the artificial intelligence. But all in all, what we have in Europe is that we have a very secured environment to do business, and very stable one, in theory, in most of the countries. So hopefully this will go on and be also a strong push for a lot of investors to put their capital in Europe, because we have a stable base, hopefully.
Excellent. Well, with that, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Lovely.
I'm very excited that you patiently closed this first day, and then tomorrow we are back here. We're having mobility tomorrow. Today we had healthcare,
Thank you.
fintech.
Lovely.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening. Thank you. And thank you for being with us.